In a world where China has one of the greatest populations, what would happen if suddenly millions of people vanished without a trace? For years, hypotheses and rumors have circulated, but no one has been able to unearth the truth. What if we told you that the truth is considerably scarier than anyone could have predicted? In today's video, The Terrifying Truth Why China's Population is Vanishing, we dive into the strange loss of China's population. Get ready to have your mind blown and your assumptions about the world challenged by what you're about to learn. Chapter: What is exactly happening in China? Do you know for the first time in 60 years, more people are dying than being born in China? According to last year's report of China's National Bureau of Statistics, it was come to be known around 9.56 million children born in China. Yes, we know you'll say that's a big number, but wait, this is not the whole report. Last year, the total death count in China was 10.41 million. That means China is losing around 850,000 people per year. Now what is your reaction? Isn't it an eye-opening stat for a nation? Chapter: Why is it happening? But why is China having this problem? The rationale is not due to one or two factors. There are plenty. Marriage rates have declined for 8 years in a row, and birth rates have followed suit, though not to the same extent. China registered 7.63 million marriage registrations in 2021, down from 13.47 million in 2013. But what is causing Chinese people to avoid marriage and having children? Part of the reason is the simple expense. Raising children in China is expensive, especially for urban upper middle class. It is more expensive than in countries with higher per capita wealth, such as Japan or the US. Reduced optimism for the future may also play a role, especially in light of the COVID-19 pandemic's effects. There was a strong sense of economic progress and greater political freedoms as tides that lifted all boats in the 2000s. But by the mid-2010s, Chinese society has begun to feel increasingly zero-sum. Another important aspect is increased choice and power for Chinese women, who are increasingly pursuing their own jobs and may perceive marriage as a lousy deal. That is a positive development. When given the choice, women all around the world choose to have fewer children. Chapter: Consequences. One of the most urgent consequences of population reduction is a labor shortage. This may result in higher compensation as employers struggle to fill positions, resulting in greater labor costs for enterprises. As the population declines, fewer people are available to contribute to the economy. This has the potential to reduce the quality of public services, such as healthcare and education. The housing market is likewise affected by the population drop. As the number of people looking to buy property falls, so does the value of the property, which can have a negative impact on the economy. Finally, population reduction can increase levels of social instability and dissatisfaction among citizens. People may feel disillusioned and resentful of the government since there are fewer people available to fill employment, leading to social instability. Chapter: What steps government is taking to overcome it. The Chinese government's explicit recognition of the population decrease will almost certainly result in a slew of child-rearing incentives. The ban on private tutoring in 2021 was intended to reduce the expense of child-rearing, but it instead created a black market for the well-connected and increased educational inequality. The Chinese public would welcome moves to reduce the expenses of education and healthcare, but some of these measures are likely to be forced. The government's coverage of the birth rate has frequently adopted a patriarchal tone, with pieces urging women to leave the workforce and return to their families. In recent years, the police and security agencies have targeted feminists for harassment. Overall, China's shrinking population has a substantial impact on the economy and society. It is critical for the government to handle this issue strictly in order for the country to stay prosperous and stable. Otherwise, that day is not far when China's name will exist only in history books and it'll disappear physically from maps.